Chimeran threat began in Russia. The origin of the virus is unknown, but its effects were devastating and swift. In the 1930s, reports of biological experiments began leaking out of Russia. Then reports of villages destroyed overnight. Then entire cities. We feared the Russians had developed a weapon of unparalleled power. The truth was far worse. The Chimera stayed sealed within Russia for over a decade. Then, in 1949, they launched an attack that overwhelmed all of Europe in a matter of weeks. For several months we thought England was safe. But in October of 1950, the Chimera burrowed under the Channel. We had prepared for them, but in 3 months' time, the war was lost. We abandoned the cities to the Chimera and retreated to scattered military bases and outposts. The Chimera had won. On July the 11th, 1951, the Americans launched an assault on the eastern coast of England. On the second wave of that assault was a sergeant named Nathan Hale. The actions of that soldier have become a matter of both scrutiny and myth. What follows are the known events of his life, from July 11th to July the 14th, the day he was last seen. The American soldiers had no idea what they would soon be facing. The US government had sealed its borders in 1950. Radio waves and newspapers became state property. Only the highest levels of their government knew the truth. The operation was an exchange. The Americans were bringing supplies and tanks into York. We were giving them our one secret weapon, something we could offer that they couldn't build themselves. I was the commander of the convoy team that was to meet the US soldiers. We were ambushed in Manchester on the way to the rendezvous. There was no way to warn the Americans. They were on their own in York, fighting an enemy they knew nothing about. We never learnt exactly what happened then. All we know is that Nathan Hale was the sole survivor.
Sir, your squad! Go now! Come with me, let's go! Requested it now! Yeah, but what the hell is
Yeah.
How the hell is this one for? We can handle it right here.
Ora siamo molti ang aiutare sa camera. Le quattro armi so affettati tempo. Ecco io. Get it down. You will get to fire mortar. Sabi siya, fire mortar, fight it too.
Sergeant Hill! Looks like your squad got it bad. Come on, let's get to the depot, double time.
Double guy, see my new droid dog. We're taking over you, but always side except the radio.
No one knows exactly how Hale was infected by the Cameron virus. Our only clue is a journal entry recovered from the body of a US medic. It says that he encountered a number of comatose soldiers in a dry creek bed. One of the soldiers, a sergeant, suddenly woke up. Unlike the other soldiers, his body had no wounds at all. The sergeant refused any kind of medical examination, insisting on catching up to the rest of the company. If that sergeant was in fact Nathan Hale, then he remains the only known person to wake up after being infected. Whether the Cameron virus mutated within him, or whether his body had an innate resistance to it, remains a mystery.
The other guy, he on my droid bug to try to take over you with the effect of the command fire. And oh yeah, one more thing, guys. You, oh yeah, one more thing. Your military surrounding info.
Two was wiped out. Come on.
What are you doing today? Great.
Grab these things! Where the hell are the Brits? 5 and 10. Approaching depot from Romeo Road. ETA 10 minutes. God damn it, someone's gotta be around here. Where's Arrow? Arrow came in over the AA. They bought in the street. Perfect. All right, all Baker units proceed to the depot ASAP. Command. We've lost G6 on Kilo Road. Baker 12 to Baker 1. We're at the depot. There's too many of them, sir. We can't take the depot without armor. Armor's on the way. You hold it, LV. No one dies until I get there. Is that clear? Yes, sir. Good. Winter's out.
The Americans regrouped at an abandoned bus depot in southeast York. Under the command of a Captain Winters, they staged a daring tactical offensive. The Chimera had begun to close in on their position. If the Americans could secure the site, they would have a perfect landing zone, and the battle would tip in their favor.
Sir. They must know this is a prime landing zone. If we can hold it, we'll get the reinforcements of our own in here. Listen, the machine guns are tearing us to shreds. Get out of that situation. Hurry up. There's trouble.
Try new Little Caesars 4-in-1 sticks with 16 deliciously shareable sticks. There are 16 reasons to try. Reason 1, they're perfect for sharing. Reason 2 through 16, just look at all these toppings. They're making me hungry. Share new Little Caesars 4-in-1 sticks for only $7.99.
Pizza, pizza. Just hold this little piece of heaven. Tabazzini, bring those tanks in here and scrape out a landing zone. Sir! Incoming!
We know from the craters that the Chimera ended the battle by launching spires. There is no defense against a spire attack. By the time you see them in the air, it's already too late. After impact, the spires release swarms of crawlers. Literally thousands of them can come from a single spire. Whole cities have been infected in minutes. After the crawlers have done their work, the Chimeras send in carriers to collect the dormant victims. The role of the carriers is to transport infected humans to conversion centers. It's at these locations that the Chimeran creatures are born. Hale was brought to a conversion center in the town of Grimsby. My convoy team and I were imprisoned at the same location. We had been captured uninfected, so we were put in makeshift pens until they could infect us.
Something feels different. I'm changing. I don't know if I like who I'm becoming.
Shoot the console! Bloody hell! Thanks for that. I'm Parker.
Hey, Sergeant Hale, 1st Rangers.
An American. We thought the Chimera stopped all of you in York.
Chimera?
Those creatures. Oh, you jammed it. I'm sorry, Hale. Looks like you'll have to find your own way out. I'll be in touch. Frequency 77.6. It was strange enough that a lone American soldier was walking around a Chimeran conversion center. But it was his eyes that were most disturbing. They showed unmistakable Chimeran traits. It was subtle, but it was there. Whoever Nathan Hale was, he wasn't entirely human.
Tempur-Pedic Breeze makes sleep feel cool. So no more sweating all night or blasting the air conditioner. Because the Tempur Breeze feels up to 10 degrees.
The conversion center was built on top of an old fish cannery. Networks of tubes transported the bodies from one stage of conversion to another. Once humans are infected by the Chimeran virus, they fall into a coma. The virus begins changing their bodies from the inside out, eventually turning them into one of the Chimeran creatures. The conversion centers simply speed up the process.
I'm seeing more hybrid patrols now. They must know we've escaped. Be careful.
During the second phase of the conversion process, the humans are wrapped in cocoons. This accelerates the final stages of the conversion. What emerges from the cocoon is determined by the strain of the virus. Each Chimeran creature is created by a separate strain. What we call hybrids, the ones that most closely resemble humans, have the shortest gestation period. The more beastly creatures take months to create and are made from multiple human bodies. allergens don't just float in the air. They settle all around your home. Introducing Clorox Pure Allergen. The final stage of the Chimeran conversion process is known as the birthing chamber. The cocoons are opened and new chimera are born. In the case of hybrids, a cooling apparatus is fused into their bodies. The chimeran metabolism is roughly 12 times that of humans. This results in remarkable healing abilities. It also raises their body temperatures significantly. Without the cooling apparatus, the hybrids would overheat and die. out. Looks like the region are vital.
sometimes I just want what I want right now, you know?
Well, with Chase Secure Banking, your direct
I was able to make it to the surface and summon a rescue. Flying into the Camaran territory was always dangerous, but we had to risk it. Hale made it out shortly after. I looked for any further signs of conversion. Fever, nervous movement, paranoia. There was nothing. Just the gold-colored eyes. We flew directly to Manchester. Soldiers had been trying to recover the convoy ever since my squad was ambushed. They knew what was in it. They knew it was our last hope for defeating the Camaro. I wanted to take Hale back to Northern Command for debriefing. Maybe he could sense I was suspicious of him. He joined the Manchester squad before I could say a word. He joined the Manchester squad before I could say a word.
I'm changing. I don't know if I like who I'm becoming.
You need to get everybody home.